Morning dear students, today we are going to start with the next chapter, that is analytical chemistry. Now what does analytical chemistry means? Analytical chemistry deals with the analysis. It deals with the analysis, that means determination of chemical components in a given sample. Determination of a given components or chemical components in a given sample. Determination of chemical components in a given sample. Now whenever we say that chemical components means we are talking about chemical compounds. Children, chemical compound usually most of them have two parts in it. Yes or no? It has a positive part, that is known as cation, and a negative part, that is known as anion. That means a chemical compound is formed of two parts, cation and anion. Let us take very simple example, say calcium carbonate. You can say calcium carbonate. So we know that calcium is +2 and carbonate is 2-. Yes or no? So its positive part is your cation, that is calcium ion, and negative part is your carbonate ion, that is your negatively charged ion. Are you getting? Now here this analysis, what we study in analytical chemistry is based on two types. We study qualitative analysis and we study quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis involves identification of unknown substance. So here you can say US, that is called identification of unknown substance. And in quantitative analysis, it involves a determination of composition of the mixture. This quantitative analysis, it involves the determination of composition of the mixture. Now let us take this simple example only. When we are talking about calcium carbonate, so qualitative analysis means, suppose I have written this way, XCO3. So you have to identify this X. This is your unknown element given to you. You have to identify this X in this chemical compound. So this identification of the unknown compound is your qualitative analysis. Now how much is the amount of this X present in the chemical compound will determine its quantity. Yes or no? Its composition. So you will say that when you identify the unknown substance, it is qualitative. The composition of the unknown substance or any given substance, then it is your quantitative analysis. Now in this chapter we are totally going to focus on qualitative analysis. We are totally focusing on qualitative analysis. That means the analysis will be done, that means determination of chemical component will be done, but the substance will be unknown to us. Are you getting? Now how this qualitative analysis can be carried out? The identification of the unknown substance, that means we are going to identify unknown substance. Okay, this is done with the help of chemical test. Now the chemical test, carrying out this chemical test requires some reagent. Yes or no? Whenever we want to perform some test, we require some reagent. Are you getting? So what is a reagent? A reagent is another substance. It is another substance which is made to react. So here in this chapter, what is the reagent we are going to study? We are going to study use of two reagents, that is sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. We are going to study the qualitative analysis of chemical compound or unknown substance by the help of test involving some reagent. These reagents are sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. usually we take alkali solutions only because these alkalis are the laboratory reagent. Now when you talk about sodium hydroxide, it is a strong base. It is a strong base. And ammonium hydroxide, it is a weak base. It is a weak base. This we are going to study in detail. Strong base and weak base we will study in detail in chapter 3. But for instance, now let us understand what is a strong base. Strong base means it will dissociate into ions, and the dissociation will be complete. It will completely dissociate into ions. That means 100% dissociation will be there. So NaOH will dissociate as Na plus OH minus ions. That means 100% dissociation of hydroxyl ions will be done. When we say weak base, what do you mean by weak? Weak means, now here in this case dissociation is possible, but only partial dissociation is possible. So hence NH4OH, when it will dissociate into NH4 plus OH minus ions. Now looking at this equation, you will say that it also has completely dissociated. Complete dissociation means, suppose I have taken 10 ml of this solution, so out of 10 ml only 5 ml have been dissociated. Are you getting? And rest 5 ml has not yet dissociated. So this is the introduction part. Now using these metallic hydroxide, that is sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, we will be identifying the metal ions present in the chemical compound. Are you getting? This is only the introduction part of the chapter. I hope that you have understood. Thank you.